Hi everyone, welcome back. This will be the pre-lab video for lab 2. I know it's been a couple weeks, but just a reminder, make sure you watch to the end so that you can answer all the questions that show up. So this week we are going to be looking at Race et al. 2015 again, and we're also going to be looking at that next week. But yeah, so this is going to be split into two sections. So this first week we'll be kind of just like looking at some of the data and functions in Excel just to kind of familiarize ourselves with the data. So make sure after you unzip that zip file, you save your Excel to your desktop, and yeah, move it out of that R folder. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the R section real quick, right? So this first week, we're going to be focusing on the sentence superiority effect. And yeah, so let me open up my R here, right? So, right, just like last week, make sure we have our libraries installed. After you install them, you can go ahead and read them like this. Last week, where we did kind of like the select all and then run all of it, we're going to go line by line, kind of question by question this week. So after I read that, you can see, right, it's split up by experiment, and within each experiment, it's split up by questions. So go ahead and set your working directory. Yours is going to look different from mine, but it's going to be this tilde slash and then kind of like the file path that your race.r file is in. So you can see mine is in this TA folder and then race_r. So that's kind of the file path I have. So set my working directory, um, read your file, and then I'm going to go ahead and skip to this ANOVA table section so we can kind of remind ourselves how to read this output. So again, if I hit Control Enter while my cursor is on a line, it'll run that code and then skip to the next section of code, right? So after I create this ANOVA object, I can generate this output table. Let's just kind of like break down how to read this, right? So we have our main effects here, right? Group, and let's kind of look at our data real quick, right? Group, we have control and amnestic. Um, and then we also have the length condition, right? Or length variable, right? So how long is the list or the sentence? And then we have this kind of like context, right? Is it a sentence or is it a list, right? And we think that there's going to be a sentence superiority effect, right? Recall is going to be easier in the sentence condition. So, right, those are our main effects, group, length, and context. We also have all of these kind of interaction terms. You can see this colon, right? So the interaction of group and length, right? So amnestic versus control and how long the sentence or list is. Group X context, right? Amnestic control, list versus sentence, right? And then length context. And then we have this three-way interaction, group, length, context, right? So you're going to be asked about both the main effects and then kind of like, how do those main effects differ across conditions, across groups, right? So just make sure when you're answering the questions, you're paying attention to which row is talking about what, right? And I don't think this is going to matter too much for this week, but just to kind of like review kind of how the ANOVA table works. We also have this F value here. This is our main statistic for the main effects. And then our P value, right? If the P is below 0.05, um, we're able to reject the null and kind of say there is a significant effect of either the main effect or the interaction term, right? Okay, so let's go back to our instructions here. Yeah. So you're going to be asked about what rows kind of correspond to what effects. And yeah, a lot of copying, pasting, formatting, and just, yeah, kind of learning to run that output, interpret it, and like submit it, right? So yeah, this first week, we're just going to be kind of focusing on this sentence superiority effect in Excel and R. So yeah, make sure that you, yeah, feel comfortable with those two softwares.